This is a 20-minute full body pregnancy Pilates workout. It is safe for all trimesters, but if you're unsure, check with your healthcare professional. Let's begin on the mat with equal weight on both bottom bones. A neutral spine, wide collarbones, and lengthen your spine up tall. We're just going to begin with some neck movements to start. So let's look down and then look up to the ceiling. It's important we keep the neck mobile, taking the ear to the shoulders and rolling it round gently. Let's have a steady breath flow as we move from side to side. Really think about your posture here. So sitting up as tall as you can, drawing those shoulder blades back and down. Let's give the shoulders a good roll here, releasing any tension from those top shoulder muscles. Think about a steady breath in, steady breath out. We're going to take both arms up in front and reach yourself forward. Imagine you're like hugging a tree here, rounding your back and then opening. Reaching forward and opening. Let's come round now onto our hands and knees, and we're just going to take a child's pose. So sinking your hips over your heels, open the knees wide to make room for your baby bump. Let's take a nice big exhale as you sink down and inhale, come up. Let's get ourselves sorted now onto hands and knees. Have your wrists under your shoulders and your chest lifted. The shoulders are away from your ears. We're going to round the upper back and then just come back to a neutral position. Round up, hugging your baby bump up and then lower down. Just watch you don't stretch too far down. You don't want to feel any increased tension in your stomach muscles here. It should be comfortable throughout. So let's just reposition here, lifting that chest from the mat. We're going to get ready for some arm raises. So let's engage your core and lengthen one arm out in front. And then we're going to switch to the opposite arm. So here you want to really focus on keeping your pelvis in neutral and the rest of your body completely still, so that you're feeling those core muscles engaging. You're lightly hugging your baby bump up towards your spine. You're keeping your shoulders away from your ears so we have good upper body strength. Let's exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Let's just take a child's pose to release ourselves out here with a big exhale and an inhale. Let's reset that posture and we're going to get ready for the leg movements this time. So engaging your core, lengthen one leg away and lift. Slide the leg away and then lift. As you lift the leg here, be careful not to arch your back and try and keep those stomach muscles gently drawn in towards you. We shall exhale as we lift and inhale, return. Really focusing on keeping that pelvis in alignment, both hip bones facing down to your mat. Breathing out as we lift, breathing in as we come back. Keeping a strong upper body throughout. Keeping your eye gaze down to your hands so the back of the neck is long. Good work. We're going to put it all together now. We're going to move the opposite arm and leg, keeping that nice natural neutral spinal alignment. Lengthen and lift. Again, let's be really careful here that as you do the lift, you don't want to let your spine arch or let your belly drop down. So really focusing on keeping that baby bump hugged up towards you as we go through the movements. Let's exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. Good, keeping that steady alignment through each movement. Breathing out breathing in. We're going to hold this ones now and do repeated up and down. So just challenging that static control a little bit more of your trunk. Hold it here. Last few and rest. Let's do those repeats on the other side. So get your balance, lower and lift. Really focusing on that neutral spine, not letting your trunk bend or move here. It's all about the stability. And then let's hold this last one, really pushing up from that hand and sink yourself down again. Let's come back onto all fours, and this time we're going to curl the toes underneath. We're going to get ready for a deeper strengthening exercise here. So keeping yourself in this position, we're going to engage your centre, and we're going to hover the knees a couple of inches off the ground, hold, and then return back down again. Let's hover again, hold, and lower back down. Now with this exercise, the higher you go, the easier it will feel. So the key is to try and stay just a few inches from the mat. This is going to give you optimal core strengthening and also strength through the shoulders and the upper body. Let's breathe out as you hover. Inhale to hold. Breathe out back down again. Let's go on to some marching now. So as we hover and hold, we're going to lift the legs one at a time, keeping that height though, not going any higher. Let's take a child's pose once again, walking those hands away from your body. And a well-deserved exhale. Bring the hands down by your sides this time to take the pressure off of the wrists. Just slow that breath back down. We're going to come into a side-lying position now. So bring yourself down onto one side. Have the feet in line with your bottom and spine, and your head resting on your hand. We want to have a small space here, just enough to fit your hand under the lower waist, and your bottom is tucked under. We're going to start with the feet lifted to about hip level for our clam exercise. So with your core engaged, we're going to open this knee to the ceiling and lower back down. So you want to keep the rest of the body really still and make sure your hips don't roll backwards as you do this. So let's imagine a brick wall behind you as you lift and lower. Exhaling as we open, inhaling as we close. And think about just pressing those feet together as you open that knee. Should be starting to feel this on the top bottom. We're going to hold it here and now do small pulses, really getting into the deepness of these gluteal muscles. Steady breaths. Almost there. And rest. Good work. We're going to lengthen out the legs now. So you want to make yourself as streamlined as possible with the feet stacked and your hips stacked, still having that little gap at your lower waist area. Let's engage your centre once more, and you can put this hand out in front if you need some balance. Lift your top leg, then your bottom leg, lower and lower. So we're doing our staggered leg lifts here. The key here is to think about reaching long with the leg rather than just lifting up. So think about lengthening the legs away from you. Throughout the exercise, maintain that core engagement and try to imagine that little blueberry under your lower waist that we don't want to squash. This is a really good stability and balance exercise on our side. Just take your time and work with your breath. Squeezing those thighs together as the legs come towards each other. Let's just recheck that side position. We're going to get ready for our next exercise, we're going to take it into a leg press. So let's bend the knee towards the chest and then press it away. Bend in and press. So you really want to focus on keeping that core engaged, especially when you lengthen this leg away. Keeping that neutral alignment. Keep a steady breath flow. Almost there. Now bring the leg to hip height and we're going to finish off with our leg circles. So you want to draw circles with your big toe, moving from the hip joint, exhaling and inhaling. Keep the rest of the body really still and then reversing that circle direction. This is really working on the endurance now. Just about there, and rest. Good work. Let's hug that knee up to your chest. You can give the bottom a bit of a rub if it's feeling tender. Okay, let's sit ourselves up from there, and we're going to sit facing the front this time with legs outstretched. So get equal weight on both bottom bones. Make sure your legs are comfortable and together. The hands will sit out in front with the shoulders down. We're just going to take some small pelvic tilts here. So just gently rolling off of your bottom bones and then sitting right on top of them. Let's work with your breath here. Breathe out as we roll, breathe in as we return. Really focus on keeping your spine stacked up on top of itself here. This time let's open the arms wide at the top to add a chest stretch. So we roll, sit tall, arms widen. Back, roll back gently, sit tall and then open the chest. This is a really lovely stretch for opening that chest area where we get our rounded shoulders. And it keeps our upper back muscles strong as well. Let's just stay here and do a couple more chest stretches. Sitting tall, draw the arms back behind. We're going to come down to lie on the opposite side now. So let's start with our clam position. We want the feet in line with your bottom and spine, that lower waist gap created, and the top hip lengthened away from you. We want to start with the feet raised at hip height again, and the centre engaged. We're going to open that top knee to the ceiling, and then gently back down again. Remember that brick wall behind you to keep you facing forwards. Let's breathe out. Breathe in. So throughout the exercise, you want to be feeling it working in that top bottom, but you also want to be aware of your abdominal muscles gently drawing in towards you. And let's just try and relax the neck and the lower arm. Breathing out, breathing in. Let's hold it here and finish with our tiny pulses. So really pushing that top knee as high as you can. I know they don't feel very comfortable, but really good for strengthening the end range of those muscles. Good work. Let's extend the legs out now for our staggered leg lifts. So just make sure that pelvis is still in neutral, facing forwards, and that hand is out for balance if you need it. Raise the top, raise the bottom, lower and lower. Think about lengthening that leg away, squeeze the inner thighs together, lower and lower. So once again, imagine that blueberry under your lower waist, and we want to just create enough space not to put any pressure on it. Think about stretching those toes away from your hip joints. Breathing in and out. Think of steady breaths moving with each movement, just to keep that breathing under control. Let's get ready for our leg press in just a moment. So maintain that neutral spine, that small gap. Lift this top leg, we're going to hug it into the chest and press. As you hug the knee into your chest, watch that you don't round your back or push your bottom out behind you. We want a neutral spine throughout. Let's think steady breaths. Let's inhale and exhale. Once again, think about really stretching that leg away from your hip. Let's lower to hip height, and for our final exercise, our endurance exercise for this hip, let's circle that leg around. So we're thinking same steady circles as if you're drawing over the same line every time. Steady breaths. Let's reverse the circle now to finish. Breathing in and out. Keep that pelvis neutral. And done. Hug that knee up towards your chest once again. Give the gluteal muscles a little bit of a rub if they need it. And let's make your way up towards sitting. We're going to sit up nice and tall and just cross one foot over the other here if you can, making room for that baby bump if you need to. And try and sit your spine up tall. This is a really nice stretch for these gluteal muscles after all that side lying work. So try and just let the hip relax here as you feel that stretch. Let's carefully unfold and fold the other leg over. So bend in the opposite knee, walk the hands in to sit your chest up tall. And once again, let's just have relaxed breathing, let the hip go. Let's unfold those legs again. Sit with your legs out long, your spine up tall, and we're just going to take a gentle hamstring stretch forward. So just being aware of a big bump in the way if you have one there. So gently breathing out and reaching forward. And you don't need to go far to feel the hamstring stretch with these. Let's now turn to face the front and we'll finish with our mermaid side stretches. So reaching this arm over and lengthening away and returning. Breathing out, lengthen and reach. Lift that rib cage up towards the ceiling and back. Let's repeat that on the opposite side. So taking this arm over, lengthen it away. And back. Once more. Breathing out, lengthen it over and back. Good work. I hope you enjoyed your workout. I'd love you to like, subscribe and share this video with pregnant friends. You can find more pregnancy Pilates on my YouTube channel or connect with me on social media.